over here in
Tuesday Cinema Club.
We're installing this fucking data center. Yeah, you motherfuckers are getting it. You might not want it, but you're fucking getting it. We're putting it in. See, I'm not from here, so I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna put it in. I don't give a shit about your water supply, none of that stupid shit. Fuck it, and you're getting a data center. And what are you gonna do? You gonna come to that little fucking meeting? 1,000 fucking people? We got 5 people on a panel. What are you gonna do? Fucking whine and tell us not to fucking do it? You're getting the shit. Go fucking make yourself some porridge or whatever the fuck you poor people do.
Obviously, there's a lot of hostility between you guys. You guys live in the same neighborhood. I don't believe that the victim's going to be safe if you are released. Therefore, I'm going to be holding you without bond today.
Over. That's what it says. That's for my
Podcast.
career for now, man. I'm going to put a stop to it. I'm going to put an end to it. I think I'm going to stop my rap career.
I don't grill anymore because I don't drink anymore, and that was a good excuse to get drunk and stand in front of something hot.
Are we filming?
Damn, son, why'd you watch this? This podcast is meta-irony slop made by government name. You lucky you're not in that boy's HOA. He's the white monster of cinema. It's season 7. Time is a flat circle. We've escaped from Mayorga. We are stealing moments of your time. And who knows where Sticky Fish and Burno at? Probably playing Deadlock. Real cinematic shit.
In the trenches, man, with Teflon doing, nigga. You feel me? Bucket boys.
What is up? Those who are watching movies, those who are making movies, those who want to learn how to be part of the industry, find a different podcast, because today it's Government Name on Season 7, Episode 9, coming with the weirdest theme song I've made this season yet. I got a special guest with me today, SÜNDERMANN. What'd you think of that, bro? That was too much, right? Too much. I've been making...
It blew my mind.
Speaking of minds being blown, I'm super honored to have an incredible artist who works at really the intersection of tradition and technology. Sonny SÜNDERMANN, thank you so much for coming today. Really excited to just talk to you about the work that you've done over the last couple decades, the work you're doing in the next coming decades, and what you kind of see as the world at large. So yeah, excited to have you, man. Thank you so much.
Glad to be here, man.
For those of you who don't know, you've definitely seen his work. I'm actually going to just full screen up what is called LS Studio. If you want to go and learn more about the selected works here, I'll pull this up.
You want to know what it stands for?
Yes, of course.
Lots of cream, lots of sugar.
Lots of cream, lots of sugar. That's how you take your milk and honey.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love
with
that,
all the
man.
prompting.
So let's take a step back. I first connected with you through LinkedIn, through the space where I see a lot of AI creatives in. I'm not sure if you were on AI in the Lot that recently came, but I think your work belongs there. If you can't read the text on the screen, A$AP Rocky, Tilda Swinton, Ewan McGregor, Paul McCartney, Lady Gaga, Sugar Rose, Sly, Coppola, they all worked with him. I mean, it's an honor to have you here on our show today, man. Thank you so much. Talk to me. We always like to talk about movies we watched this last week. Did you catch any movies this last week? I'm just curious if there's anything that you saw.
No, actually, I was looking at what I'm going to do for the next couple of days. So you have this new French filmmaker who did Infested with the spiders. He's coming out with a new Evil Dead.
Yes.
So I'm not a real. I mean, I like the classics of the Evil Dead, but I saw this trailer and it had something very fresh. I was like, who the hell shot this? And it's this new French guy, and I was like very impressed. So I normally would not go to a traditional Evil Dead film, but I'm going tomorrow because it felt something that he's onto something.
Yeah. So Infested, originally Vermines. There's another spider apartment film coming out this year. I'm trying to think what it's not Infested. Maybe it was Infested. Is this the one where they get locked in? Yeah, right.
In the hotel. Yeah, so that's the same director.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I wanted to see that.
Yeah. And of course, when the Evil Dead picks up this new, cool, young, upcoming, young, I'm not sure how young he is, just our age. But I always like it when they try to share a new voice on an old concept and see what they do with it. At least the trailer, I was very impressed, so I really want to see it.
It looks good. If you're in the server, you'll see we post them behind the scenes, some of the physical costume. He just looks incredible. Like you'll see it floating around.
It's really well done. Yeah, or at least the trailer is really well done. So I have to see the film first. And of course, I was planning when to go to the Odyssey, so planning that one too, of course.
Yeah, I think Sticky Fish and I got tickets to 70 mil. We're gonna go see it. We're talking about reselling the tickets, right? Just cause, but I think I kind of want to get the strip. I hope I'll get a strip of the film. They give that out sometimes. This week, my wife and I.
If you resell your tickets, you will go to hell like The Evil Dead. I think you have to watch it yourself.
No, and you'll regret it when they ask you, "Oh, I had tickets to go see it, but then I sold it."
And I get it.
Yeah, no, I would never. I tried to watch Old Henry, which honestly, for a Western, it was a little slow. I don't know much about the director, Potsy there, but I'd consider him young. He's 80 years old, making movies. They're in his 40s, right? Old Henry was put on Netflix this week. It was pretty slow for a Western, but I do gotta like Tim Blake Nelson. Did a great job. Speaking of work, though, I've got your selected works going up on here, and I could see these kind of scenes or special effects more likely in the Evil Deads or the Infested. A young filmmaker kind of tapping into this, especially this one where all the horses dropping down. Are these from commercial works or are these spec works that you did? Tell me something about these reels we're looking at right now.
So these are personal works that I made. These were not linked to a specific project. So this is, to me, already outdated. This stuff is 12 months old. So I'm like, oh my God, back in time.
I love that you're cognizant, right? I see some of that blur in the birds there and the Boyds. There's little things like the skin movement's good, but then you kind of chase stuff down in there. I appreciate that you're kind of cognizant of that stuff and how quickly this work changed. So let's talk about 12 months ago and 12 years ago. Let's kind of look time at a scale. Sure. 12 years ago, you weren't using AI at all. Where were you doing? What were you working on? How was that?
Yeah, well, I did traditional film school in New York, and then the second part of my master's in LA. So yes, I do know how to load a film camera blindfolded in the bag, and I was the first. I had, I think, Red 1, number 8. Prototype number 8 in my hand for the first Red camera, so I was very part of the transition. But I'm classically raised. But fuck it, I love the new stuff what we can do now. I think it's absolutely incredible, and I think our muscles to create our visions have grown significantly over the last two years. Yeah.
And I think that's really interesting that you put. I'm raised in tradition, but I'm really kind of coming from this as a tool, right? You talk about, I had the 8th Red camera that existed, right?
Yeah. It was a big deal, man.
Was that at Zoetrope, or were you at Zoetrope before then? I know you were.
No, that was a film school. It was a film school.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
So there were a couple of film school who could borrow it to educate their students, and we had the number 8 prototype. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got film class from, what's his name again? He was a camera operator from what's the film again? Thomas Crown Affair. He taught me. and also on the side he still had those wheels, right? Like the classic filmmakers had. So you had the two opposites at the set back in the day.
I'm gonna call it out. Is that Ralph Gerling? Is that who is that? Or
I think it was. Yeah, could be.
Wow.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Incredible. Yeah. Or was it the remake of the Thomas Crown Affair? Which Thomas Crown?
No,
Affair?
that's happening now, right? No, the original.
No. There's three. There's one with Pierce Brosnan was a remake, bro. They shot that originally in the 50s, way back.
That's the one I mean. Yeah. So the remake with Pierce Brosnan, yeah.
Maybe Tom Presley. But I think it's interesting. You kind of flag. What was the format Red was shooting on that? Was it 1080 or was it 4K? Was it the early 4K or was it was like we were?
No, it was early 4K. No, it was early 4K. It was mind blowing. Of course, it wasn't super great, but it looked. We were all very impressed at the time.
Yeah, you think how far the sensors have gone, right?
Yep.
So, kind of talk about where things were 12 months ago, right? That's that uncanny valley we experience so much when we talk about digital filmmaking, right? Even the early 4K sensors, right? There's a lot of noise in them. It might have been a 4K picture, but you not necessarily capturing it all. I think the cinema lenses were doing a lot of that heavy lifting early on as well, right? You get those mounts in there and it doesn't.
Great, yeah. But back in that day, you still had to create these self-made mounts to put on big real cinema lenses on it. So you had your little construction kit and you tried to mount it on, and if you had a mount that everybody was shooting on the red afterwards, can I please borrow it? Was like the mount was like a holy grail back in that time.
I like to make the comparison now that mount where operators deeply entrenched in the tools and pipeline are building that everyone begs for are similar to the tools that you work on today in AI filmmaking, right? There was this tradition, this lens, this piece of glass, and there was this new sensor. And at the crux, there was an operator, but at the inner point, the actual point where the tradition meets the technology, there is an invention that it doesn't exist, and that someone hacks together. It's imperfect, it light leaks, it burns too much RAM. I think that's a very fitting analogy to the work that you used to do and the work you do today.
Yep, agreed.
I got some of your Instagram here for lots of cream, lots of sugar, but you're not just lots of cream, lots of sugar. You also, and am I saying it right? It's Sundermann? Sundermann?
Sundermann, yeah.
Sundermann.
Yeah.
Talk to me about, how do you use these different types of identities? You have a studio identity of lots of cream, lots of sugar. You have a play space, sun. How does that work for you? How do you approach it?
Yeah. Well, the origins here is, so when you make art, physical art, like for galleries, they're not too hot on making movies. So I use my real name for the art and LCLS for more filmmaking, because it's, at the moment you do something it's a little bit maybe commercial, which of course happens quite quickly within the film world, you have to separate it. So therefore I have the both names, one for the art world, one for the film world.
Yeah. You were part of Dreamina when you were working on some of your, I think, work that took you to, you were recognized as some of the top 40 AI artists in the world right now.
Yeah.
Do you still use Dreamina? How's that relationship kind of grown? How did you find, did they come to you originally? Did they find your work? How did that talk to you?
Yeah, they came to me just before Cannes. I'm not sure how they found me or what the reason was, but they got me selected. And of course, you have great benefits if you collaborate with them, and we do projects together. And of course, there's an exchange of supporting me with credits and just getting stuff done, right? So I think that's the core of the collaboration. And for them, it's an investment. Once things grow more and more into the feature land, they have a short in to me, right? So I think that's the baseline.
You mentioned feature light. I'm curious what you think, as someone who's worked in kind of traditional filmmaking and seen the end-to-end workflow. How does AI truncate that, right? AI, I haven't really seen those tools accelerate editing fully, right? I've seen some special effects come in, right? But like a nuke layer is just one part of the composite, right? And those tools might like maybe lower that cost of making multiple images, multiple layers for a VFX come out. But I don't think very many films are pure VFX, right? Even Avatar, right? It's driven by character acting, even if they're coded in that. And you can't get around the human on set speaking, right? So in what ways do you think AI is just an addition, or is it, where do you think it's gonna cut some corners we don't talk about right now? And when you talk about, right, our film club, for example. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so I think it's of course you have this duality of traditional filmmaker and the more AI filmmaker, but I always think it's funny, the AI filmmaker and traditional film, we are absolutely the same people, right? It's the same group, right? It always surprises me when people talk about the separate groups, but the AI filmmakers are hardcore filmmakers and the traditional filmmakers are also hardcore filmmakers. We all come from the same seed of passion and interest and method on how to make our shots. So let's first define, it's all the same group, just one person uses different tools than the other person. And what will happen in the future, of course, you're gonna have hybrid forms, like the gray box, what's the name of the director who's doing this big one now in Ireland, who just I'll get back to it later. But you have the hybrid form, and then you have the form where you use real people, but you do use it in digital sets, so you don't have to go to real sets. And you have the full AI version, which I think is still the youngest version, and of course the acting is not great yet. So I think there are 3 levels of how to make films with AI, and I think, at least from my end, is in the end it's AI enables you to get your shot that wasn't in budget or wasn't in your timeline, or you couldn't go to that Japanese location that you really wanted to go to. In the end, it's infusing filmmakers to get closer to the vision. So whatever tool you use and how much budget you have, it's just getting a step closer to what you have in mind. And I think that's the true core of AI filmmaking. And also, to be honest, people who are against AI filmmaking, I don't think they really grasp yet what the creative freedom it gives, or why it's good. And of course, I also know it's the way the data is trained. I also really understand that. But in the end, it's giving creative people the tools to make films. Because I also feel making movies that cost 300 million, it's too much, or 50 million is also quite a lot. You always needed quite a lot of money to just make some pixels move on a film screen or on a TV screen, right? It's kind of a crazy amount of money you have to put in a couple of pixels. So to me, I think, at least I've been waiting on this for 20 years till the technology really evolved, so we could really make something with our vision without the massive cost attached to it. So I've been waiting on this for a long, long time, and I think this will be a blessing for our generation filmmakers.
I think you're hitting so many points that I agree with. There's this, posit I like to put out there. What happens if there was a model that was ethically trained that was carbon neutral? Would you be okay with it then? Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then, there's this idea that I love where you say the AI filmmaker is just a filmmaker, is just the same. It's the same group, and I couldn't agree more.
The same blood.
There's no. It's so interesting that you also talk about kind of this commercial versus artistry, right? Inherently, there's a production, there is a business to filmmaking, and there is an art that exists within production. And please
go ahead.
I was just going to say, artists bring beautiful things that business-minded people really seek out, and those tools allow those business-minded people to maybe let artists go create other things, right? Like that you as an artist can be empowered to make something that you truly feel enabled to do, and you can take the grunt spec work that keeps you fed and have your tool do that for you so your pencil stays sharp elsewhere. It's not that you're maybe some of those businesses will go do it themselves, but now you're entering a world where the businessman is becoming creative. There's a positive there, and we shouldn't stop them from that.
Agreed. And I think what I was referencing to is Francis Ford Coppola made this clip back in the 80s where he was predicting the future of filmmaking. Now, his note was related to the arc from film to digital, with the arc of, in the future, any girl or guy in the States could pick up a camera and shoot this film that they envisioned, and it's going to be the new Mozart. I'm not sure if you've seen this clip. And I think what he said is, you have to watch it. It's a gorgeous clip. But he is saying, in the moment the business side is destroyed from filmmaking, the real art of filmmaking will arise. And that's exactly what's happening, in my view.
And it's not that we want to decouple patronage from artists, but this idea that in the same era of the 80s and 70s, there were these artists who exploded away from convention, and they didn't need capital to support them. They literally became these starving hippie artists living in these hovels, but what they were doing is creating art, and that art today hangs in national galleries. That art today is seen as great works, and I'm not saying necessarily that so much of the AI work today is going to be hung in national galleries. There's a lot of bad hippie art out there. There's a lot of macrame out there, right? Maybe Sora will be seen as macrame. Your grandma had macrame hanging plants and stuff like that. All of our grandmas were doing that. But there is also fiber arts that exist today that are acknowledged, and there's places that those artists can have voices today with those tools and that freedom that were blocked by the business of the studio, and by decoupling and Coppola predicted 50 years ago. It's just what we're just starting to see.
Yeah, and another reference, I think, back in the day, oil paint was very, very expensive. So only the rich painters could afford paint, especially the color blue and the other stuff. So the moment we had an innovation and we could create all colors of oil, but at a reasonable price, then you saw this explosion of artists, painters all over the world, because now they could paint at home, right? And I think this is the same thing that's happening now with filmmaking. I think filmmaking was maybe the last art that was still so linked to huge budgets. We couldn't crack it yet, right? Even a digital camera did quite a lot, but still you needed so much business to make your vision. So I think AI has finally been the transition where people could afford oil paint. Now people can afford creating pixels on a film screen. Does that make sense?
And it does. And I think where I look at the state of what film has become, right? Film in my mind has become equivalent to theater and opera, where in fact it's becoming more bespoke.
Like that one.
Becoming more niche, because the modern society is maybe more into video game or interactive, like reality culture TV, right? I'm not talking about reality TV that's produced. I'm talking about literally slow TV streamers, right? This slice of life, and then it becomes like, oh, we need something to spice up. Reality's too slow. So now you have these not pseudo, they are actual celebrities known around the world traveling around and just like, oh my God, someone torched my Lambo. Someone did these insane things that would be like normally like done safely on a set. Like the big problem is the art has moved so fast in these spaces, especially the live stuff, that like, hey, there's a reason we have intimacy coordinators. There's a reason you have these prop handlers, because we've actually got like 100 years of tradition and mistakes to know better. And there's so many people who are stepping into this space who are like, actually, I don't need a studio. I don't need any protection. I'm going to just make it myself. And they're going to find out the hard way. And, you see a lot of liability coming out of that. And this is also happening when it comes to like, especially copyright around music. I think the visual image is pretty difficult to maintain when it comes to just even monitoring it. It's very difficult for any censor to come in and say, yeah, that's not fair use. They're not reusing it, recontextualize it, right? There's an ad in the background, right? We have to edit out Coca-Cola ads. There used to be a time where it was enforceable because the production pipeline was so slow. The amount of content that comes down today is so automated. But I think audio is a big example of like when these very easily sourceable sets of data points are like found. That's like what was a gold mine for people and is now like Suno just got sued this week, right? They say, hey, transparency's clear. Yep. But there's so much music coming out today to the youth culture where they're like, we're tired of paying the royalty tax. We're tired of checking out this book from your private library. We're going to just train the kids on non-intellectual property. I think a good example here of intellectual property that changed a lot of, I have a young child, and Bluey is something that's not owned by Disney, but they stream it in America on the Disney streaming service. So all these children go to Disneyland and they're confused. They go, where's Bluey? There's no Bluey here. And so Disney has had to license for the first time in their history outside intellectual property, because they now have to find a way to put Bluey at their Disneylands for these kids that are growing up on stuff that they don't own. And this is just kind of the start of like the collapse of trademark and all these things, because at some point Disney's gonna be like, actually, we own Bluey, because the only reason Bluey's so big is because we show it to kids. We own these songs, says the radio stations. But I think as we step into this, the artists are going to have that control. Video games is another example where independent producers are able to step out. Where do you see yourself as coming in the next kind of 12 months, 12 years? A year from now, you'll still be using AI. 12 years from now, you'll still be using AI. How will it look different, and what do you think that is?
Yeah, unless I stop filmmaking and start a winery in California.
Hey, I know some land.
Yeah, no, it was a couple of references. But yeah, and then burn all my money on my last film. No, art and film is I'm gonna do it till I die. And I think AI is going to be fantastic. But what I'm just really looking forward to is over the next 20 years, you're going to see the next Kubrick, the next Coppola, the next Mozart for filmmaking all arise from the most crazy places. For example, I met this guy who is this real estate guy in Switzerland, completely uncreative, but he's brilliant in his shots. And this is what I like so much about AI filmmaking, that you can really find a lot of amazing new voices that are going to fresh up our whole palette of filmmaking for the next 100 years. So I think this is truly the most creative era for filmmaking ever. I mean, this is our the flowers are opening up for, I think, filmmakers who want to make films.
And I think young AI filmmakers are the bees that will pollinate and spread. I think there's a lot of things I could go into and talk about. I could probably hold you for hours, but I want to just maybe come back a little and just talk a little bit more, kind of just about where you think the changing of the guard goes, right? So,
so it always changes with death, right? Filmmakers get born and they die, right? So there's a natural shift happening every 60 years. All right, so it's 100% happening, and some traditional filmmakers will pick things up, and I think also Robert Fincher was the first one who picked up a red camera, the Red One. He's one of the pioneers, I think, and of course Cameron is a pioneer regarding his methods. I do still think that he thinks that AI is bad, but I think what he is doing is a dream for AI, and he should embrace it and really understand it. But he's a bit of a stubborn guy, maybe on certain parts. But so I think over the next 20 years, if you're a serious filmmaker, you will involve AI because it brings you closer to your vision. So if you're a filmmaker, you have a decision, I don't want to get close to my vision, and it's just out of budget or out of time, or I can't shoot that tree in Japan. Or you say, I do want to get close to my vision and incorporate AI in it. I think every serious filmmaker will always choose to get closer to his or her vision, or find more budget to make the shot traditionally. But I think creativity the will to make good creative work will always be stronger than the blockades between them, especially now with AI, if that makes sense to you.
I think the changing of the guard is coming. But I look at some of the new guard and I hear voices from the youth, those younger than me, really adamantly against AI. And I hear you saying any serious filmmaker who wants to complete their vision will really bring this into their practice in the future. I'm curious, maybe, do you have anything that you want to... How do you view that? How do you view, first, the younger generation's total current... It feels like absolute aversion. People are saying I'm unfollowing A24 because they said they're going to partner with Google.
Okay. So let's be very truthful, because I've also seen all the posts online about the youth. But I would think if you do an actual Gallup testing, I think everybody is completely pro. I think it's just a couple of voices that kept things down. So let's first get our facts together, and in the end, filmmaking is making pictures with pixels or with celluloid. My kids, who are now 6, they don't even wonder if it's a real person or if it's a designed person. They really don't care. So I think it's more of a press hype to be against it than reality, because it is the most amazing tool for filmmakers, which is AI, 100%. Like when the first...
Do you let your kids try to make AI movies? Have you sat down and tried to do an AI movie with them? Or how have you done that?
Only pictures. So I try to stimulate my kids to be creative. So let's think of a dolphin spider, and then we make, kind of creepy.
Ooh,
but I do think it's...
I like that.
Yeah, so I do stimulate my kids to be creative and forward-thinking. I hope they'll be creative people in the end. But also regarding AI and the youth, the first airplane that went into the sky, people thought it was the devil coming down. The first cinema train, right? The first cinema experience.
All ran away.
Everything is always a bit scary in the beginning, but in the end, everybody embraces it, right? I mean, it's just the natural arc of technology. And maybe it's cool to say I'm just celluloid, but everyone is gonna embrace great films, no matter what it's made with.
I agree. Kabuki theater still exists today. I haven't seen it recently, but it's a steep tradition. Filmmaking will exist tomorrow. It's a steep tradition, but there's not going to be as many film processing labs as there were in the height of it. There's going to be data centers to manage it. And let me tell you, the first coal mine was way more destructive than the modern coal mines of today. That's not to excuse the impact that coal mining has, but to say that the start of a technology is the end of its environmental impact and it'll never get better, it's just a falsehood that history says. To say that, it's so weird because I feel like it used to be cool to be anti-copyright. People were all about piracy. People were all about ad busting. And now the youth culture is so pro-copyright. And it's very...
No, so but refine this. All the press you read about youth, that's a different thing.
Yeah, I talk to some people who are in their 20s, right? I don't hang out with them much. But there's this idea that, well, one, I think they're manipulated, right? They've been told that anything AI is slop. Because there's this idea that the only people who should be able to use AI are studios in secret. At the same time they're being told it's slop, every film that was nominated for a major Academy Award last year used AI in some fashion. They didn't even have to disclose it. Now they're making all these weird rules that you have to disclose it, all these things. You want to know how the magician does the trick. To me, it doesn't really resonate, right? If you were there on set, maybe you would deserve to know, but at some point you have to be the consumer of the art. And I think there's a lot of people who, like, farm to table, they now want to be, script to mind and have almost control over that. And what AI offers is that. You don't like the movie, go make it yourself. But I think there's so much control of other artists. Yeah.
Hey, I would love to add something regarding the AI slop. I do think from a creative aspect of how new technology is embraced and people try things out and then in the end it flourishes into something. I do think creating crap is a very important part of being creative. In the end of, say, 1 million people doing this, there are going to be 5 brilliant filmmakers coming out of it who had to do AI slop first to get it to the next level. Like Picasso said, it took me 20,000 paintings to make my first good painting. So AI slop just means really shit creative work, but we do need to do that as artists to get better, because it's impossible to do it at once, right? You need to chew on it. And like any writer, right, your first pages are always a bit tricky. They need to rewrite and rewrite and rewrite. Making crap is an important part of being a creative, your growth.
Wow, I just want to say that again, just to echo it. The idea of drafting, the idea of creating, not to create perfection, but to learn how to create, will produce slop. And that slop is important. Not important for others to consume. It's not important for you to remain at, but there is no improvement without effort. There is no action without someone actually putting in effort first. I mean, there's so many people that I hear today in those spaces that from a higher level are just telling people to not create. Stop drawing. Stop doing these things. And I think that's a miss, right? Please.
No, if I wanted to add a note, I have a book, Stephen King on writing, upstairs. And also, any advice to any writers, just write a couple of pages every day. Just keep on writing and keep on writing. Even if it's crap, just do rewrites. So the only difference with all these pages from Stephen King, he doesn't publish it, so we don't see it's crap. But now people post it online, so it reveals someone's early stages of crap. So it's just the platform that has changed. And also, any filmmaker's first shots, all crap, right? Christopher Nolan's first student films were great, but also slop officially. So it's just that now people are sharing it, therefore we piss on it.
And I think it's important for people to express their tastes, right? There is an inherent meanness to criticism always, but criticism is necessary for you as an artist to receive and grow. If you're just fed flowers, you're not going to know truth. And truth is probably the most important thing, both to receive and extract from art. Even if it's just something that's silly, there's usually a goal in trying to elicit some sort of truth. I think we're coming up to a good point here. I wanted to just thank you so much for your truth today, Sunderman. Sunny Sunderman.
You're very welcome, man.
Part of the Lots of Cream, Lots of Strugger Studio. I'm sweet on you, brother. I can't wait to see your next work. Before we go, do you want to hype anything up or talk about anything you're working on, or is it all hush-hush these days?
Oh, yeah. So I've been thinking about it, of course, also with working with massive studios, but all these things are under NDA. I wish I could share, but it's very cool.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll share updates that you provide for me when they hit the public in the future. I want to really thank you for your time today. Thank you so much for coming on Season 7, Episode 9 of the Tuesday Cinema Club. All right, folks. Y'all have a great day.